you very much. And now we'll dive straight into the German national anthem. That against Tutsis that happened here in Rwanda. So on that note, we'd like to take 1 minute moment of silence in the remembrance of the fallen comrades during the 1994 genocide against the Tutsis. Let's take a moment of silence.
spin out of the wicket, as you can see. That's a nice ball. It's bowling in some good areas. Botswana opener just getting her eye in, which is a smart idea. Tactic we haven't seen quite so much either so far. Opening with spin, long run up for a spinner, but getting the ball turning, which is always a good sign. That one's not quite come in enough. That'll be the first extra of the game. First run on the board for Botswana.
Quiet start here from Botswana.
Got away with that one. Did the German off spinner, bowling it very short into the pitch, but wasn't punished for it. And then a lovely shot to deep cover there for a single. First runs off the bat here for Botswana, which would be a good feeling for the opener, getting herself off the mark.
And now we get to see Olebogong Batisani now to face a fast delivery. Starts off watchfully there to end over number 1. The score is 2 for Nolos.
Yeah, I think Germany will definitely be happy with that first over. Always an interesting tactic going with the off spinner to start with. I think it's good to get through the over nice and quickly as well. Just the 2 runs conceded, and positive start for Germany. Botswana being cautious, but I'm sure they're just getting their eye on for now, and they'll try and start to pick up some runs, rotate the strike, and really use this first power play. What we've seen in the tournament so far really is, as soon as that power play's done and fielders dropping into the deep, boundaries really do become quite hard to come by. Although singles and twos are a bit easier to pick up, it's a real struggle for the batters to get the ball over the rope. So I think the Botswana batters will definitely know that, definitely be aware of that, and really try and get the ball through that infield as they pick up what I believe to be a leg bye there. Will be.
The new bowler opening at the other end for Germany is Suzanne, who didn't start off the tournament, but ever since she got the chance to play, she's been doing very well. Both teams have had a few issues. Germany, the initial captain, as we see Suzanne running in, got injured second game of the tournament and hasn't played ever since. But they've kept on trying, and the new captain, Christina Goff, has led from the front. Botswana as well suffered injuries, likes of Tapelo Modise. But of course, so many positives to pick out as they look to end the tournament. We've seen one of the best fielders so far in the competition from Team Germany, Janet Ronalds. We've seen among top 5 run getters. Full there, ball in the air, but called no ball by the umpire, and they scamper through for a single. And we get to see a free hit. Florence Samanyika will be taking strike and try and get a boundary. The first for Team Botswana. Yes, I was mentioning Germany have a lot of positives to take. Christina Goff among the top 5 run getters in the competition. Free hit. Big swing there from Florence Samanyika, and the ball is racing away. Surely, Oli, this is the first boundary.
Yeah, good shot there, really making the most of that free hit, which is exactly what you want to see as a batter, as a neutral. Once you see that umpire's signal, you really hope for a big shot, and as I was saying, with that infield, in close, no protection out on the leg side, it gave the batter a chance just to free her hands, open up that leg side and make the most of it. Great shot first boundary of the innings. It's good to see as well the wicketkeeper of Germany, Katika, standing up with the helmet on to the fast bowler as well. Really restricts that batter to what they can do, restricts the footwork. Always a nuisance having that wicketkeeper standing up right behind you when you're at the crease, just trying to get down the pitch a little bit. Can't afford to do that. That's the end of the second over there. Good one for Botswana with that lovely boundary, and it should do some good for the confidence of the batters out there, who will no doubt want to capitalise on the momentum and try and get a few more boundaries in this power play as we continue into the third.
Smita Kohli, who's been very good for Team Germany here, to try and get a fast wicket for Captain Christina. So far she's picked up 10 wickets and is the leading wicket taker for Team Germany. Pick of the bowlers, she has contributed as well with some runs. Last game for both teams. What can they go home with?
Yeah, and you can tell why she's the leading wicket taker for Germany, bowling really good lengths here, good lines. But what Botswana need to be aware of, especially now with the field set as it is, no protection out on the onside, so anything short, the Botswana batters really need to use their feet and dispatch any bad balls, because they're not going to be coming too often here. And it's beaten the fielder there at mid-wicket. They'll come back for two. It's nice shot there, working the ball off the pads. Again, not too short, really, not an awful ball there by the bowler, but definitely made the most of that little bit of length that was given there, and a good two to pick up there. Slight fielding error, but they shouldn't mind that too much.
Interestingly there, Oli, as we've just mentioned, no protection on the on, and the ball goes there straight away. But still Germany, I don't see much of any fielders outside the circle as we see Kohli running in here. You would feel in the power play the batters will try and play their shots. I don't see why not try and get your fielders, the two that are allowed anyway.
Yeah, I can only imagine what Germany will be thinking is, as they know that the off-spinner here is bowling really good lengths, they'll probably want to be tempting the batters into playing shots that maybe aren't on, but there, that shot was definitely on. I was saying about good lengths being bowled, that one did not allow the ball to spin. Full toss there, dispatched.
But again, Oli, is it time to get the deep mid-wicket down there?
Well, I certainly think if they're going to be bowling like that, then it would be a good decision, and I think they are going to keep the woman out there deep on the leg side to offer that protection. But as I was saying, I think whilst the bowler's bowling, the Botswana batter's really trying to force the shot. It's dropped there. Another full toss. It wasn't a ball that deserved a wicket, but it certainly could have got one there, as the ball was fired to the fielder on the leg side inside the circle. It was a tough chance, but they'll definitely have liked that to have stuck in the hands there of the fielder to pick up their first wicket. As I said, wasn't really a ball that deserved a wicket. A couple full tosses in a row here. The German bowler will need to readjust her line, which is done there well.
Christina Goff, the captain there, dropping the chance for Kohli. But yes, that ball really should have gone to the boundary. They did decide to get the deep mid-wicket down there. As we see at the end of over number 3, the score 18 for no loss. Florence Samanyika opening with Olebogeng Batisani. You'd say usually Batisani is the aggressor of the two, and we've just seen already she's moved on to 9. Suzanne running in again. Starts off full. Batisani will be key for Botswana to try and take advantage of the power play. But Florence as well, on the other hand, knows she has to keep her end. Full again, and this time way down the leg, and the signal umpire signals wide there from Suzanne. Lovely weather here, Ollie. Good for cricket.
Yeah, very good for cricket. They'll be hoping for a really nice day out there today for their very last game in this tournament. No doubt they've enjoyed themselves, despite results maybe not going their way. But even this last game, they're playing in a good spirit, and they're definitely going to be wanting to win this one for sure, end their campaign on a win. As Germany continue to bowl full, it's a lovely shot, really controlled there through the offside. There is a fielder deep that will cut it off, not on the boundary, just maybe 10 paces in from the boundary, but Germany really aren't giving many easy singles with this field. Have a very attacking field setup, even fine leg and third man both inside the circle there.
Yep. Interesting. On strike now is Batisani, who is the aggressor, and you get the feel she'll try and play some shots. Let's have a look. So far the bowling very good from Suzanne.
Yeah, and I think as long as Germany keep bowling in some good areas and not giving any freebies, they'll be more than happy with that, because although Botswana have got off to a fast start, they're going to need to keep playing some shots, and if the ball's being bowled in a good area, it might force the batters to take some risks, which again Germany won't mind one bit. Wide ball there though. Another extra, just creeping up. But that's good adjustment. It's a lovely shot there. It beats fine leg, who was inside the circle, although I'm not sure she would have got round to it even if she was on the boundary. Really well played off the pads there. It races away for 4.
We've seen 3 boundaries so far from Batisani on the on. About time the captain decides to get a deep square leg or deep mid wicket. 4 overs down, the score 26 for no loss. Just a reminder of the teams today. Botswana, their captain Laura Mofakedi, also wicketkeeper. Florence Samanyika, who is in the middle at the moment. Tuwelo Shadrack, their opening bowler. Matome, also another bowler. Oratile, the all-rounder. Olebogeng Batisani as well in the middle, opening the batting. Tandiwele Gabile, their opening bowler. Tapelo Modise, who's been the pick of the runs for Team Botswana. Tebogo Motlabaputi, one of their best fielders and all-rounders. Onile Ketsimang, who picked up player of the match in one of the games. And Mimi Ramafifi, as we get to see. And change here, Antonia. Edged. No sleep, Oli. Would you like to see a sleep in the power play?
Well, they've been very stingy with the amount of fielders that they've been putting on the boundary, and there was definitely some swing there, some away swing, outswing from the bowler in her very first ball. So I think a slip could be a interesting idea, would certainly show the attacking intent that they want a wicket.
Oh yes, there is swing, Oli. And you don't want to see another edge go down there, the bowler. That is one of the most annoying things. You know the ball is shaping. The captain doesn't give you the sleep. Get an edge, still no sleep, and then a second edge. Antonia.
Yeah, and I think as well as no slip, just having no cover out on the offside boundary as well really does show a lot of bravery actually by this German captain. I'm not sure, as the ball's swinging away in the first 3 balls there, well outside the off stump, what exactly the deep fielder on the leg side is covering, because that shows exactly what Germany might need here in the field. It's a lovely shot through the covers, really controlled again, and it brings up another boundary for Botswana. And I think what we've seen as well is the German captain really not reacting much to what's happened. You saw the edge there, and then no slip put in. Ball there racing to the boundary, but no protection put there. A couple overs earlier, you saw just the captain being a bit reluctant to maybe learn from some mistakes that we're seeing here in the field.
If I was Botswana, Oli, I would definitely want you to keep picking out these mistakes by the captain, because every time you say they need an extra cover, a deep mid wicket, a boundary, the next ball. So I don't know, maybe this is the opposite of the commentator's curse. This is the commentator's luck for Team Botswana. Florence will not mind though. Antonia. Five down, the score is 31 for no loss.
Yeah, one thing we did see in the very last ball of that over, and what we have seen in the first overs of this game, is the German fielders that are inside the circle are showing lots of energy, really not allowing any quick singles, and yeah, clearly shows a good spirit being played here, despite it being the last game, perhaps not playing for much, but they're playing with some energy out there, which on a hot day takes a lot of character. It's good to see.
Might be the last game, but I'll tell you, Oli, a win is a win. I hate losing myself. It doesn't matter if the game really, there is nothing at stake. It's still a game to win. As we see a bowling change by Captain Christina Goff, who decides to bring in Sharanya Sadarangani. And on strike is Ole Bogeng Batisani, last over of the power play. She'll be looking to try and get a boundary or two.
Yeah, both openers into double figures. Olaboeng scoring at a runner ball. Just under now, but definitely showing some nice attacking intent, picking up those boundaries. And they want to continue it with this run-out chance. It won't be out. Batter got home safely. Perhaps the throw maybe a little bit cautious there. Not really thrown with much intent.
Well, now we get to see the captain has decided to have a deep mid-wicket for Batisani, which is good. But she's off strike now, and now we have Florence Amanyika, who's just been trying to play on the off. So you get the feel, maybe now having the same field for different batters. Let's see. Let's hope it doesn't go through the covers for another four. Oh, that was the ball. That was the ball for that cover drive, straight through, short cover. Still opting for a deep mid wicket here is Captain Christina Goff. Let's see. Good bowling. Not much swing from Sharanya as we saw from Antonia, but still maintaining a very good line and length. Cut away there powerfully, but straight to the point fielder.
And I think both Florence and Olabageng here showing how much they care about their wicket, not taking many risks as of yet, still picking up runs, boundaries off the bad balls, but playing it nice and cautious. Good running there, slight misfield at mid-off. They pick up a single, good running.
Ends the power play. The score 32 for no loss. Well, there are always these small battles in cricket where you try and win session, or let's say over from 6 or to 10.
मारती जी, फैंटेसी अखाड़ा में विदेश जाने का भी चांस है। अब सुनो, हम आपको जाने देंगे। इतना सिखा दीजिए कि हम फॉरेन कैसे जाएंगे। फैंटेसी स्पोर्ट्स का असली अखाड़ा।
इस गेम में वित्तीय जोखिम के तत्व हैं और इसकी लत लग सकती है। कृपया जिम्मेदारी से और अपने जोखिम पर खेलें।
Although the chances for boundaries decrease, there's definitely more chance for singles, twos, just general runs in the field, more gaps that open up. As you see here, no square leg. There's a deep mid-wicket fielder, so definite runs there. And you think, with that ball shaping away, the peel goes up. Umpire not interested. But yeah, with that ball swinging away, I think the chances to work it through the leg side might be limited, but if the batter can do that, then it's definite runs out there.
Good to see Antonia still getting some swing. 7th over. Florence on strike. Lucky there, the bowler. The batter doesn't capitalize on that loose delivery. Full and way down the leg. That could have been a boundary. But they do pick up a single. Batisani on strike now. Oh my goodness. Maybe that one slipped from Antonia's hand. But let's see. Botswana will not mind. Free hit. Can Batisani strike this one? Steps out and pulls away powerfully. Misfield there from Captain Christina, and they scamper through for a single.
Yeah, slight confusion there with the running, but they managed to get through for that single.
Umpire there on your screen is John Trust Mayeku, and the leg umpire is Onekoye from Nigeria, as we get to see Florence face up to Antonia. Antonia seems to have swayed way down the leg when you compare to her first over. She was bowling outside off and shaping the ball away, but in this over, slightly off her lines, you would say.
Yeah, I think the one thing that they won't mind is it's not really been capitalised on by Florence or Olubagang there. Not really making the most of these wild deliveries, so if Antonia can get the line back, I'm sure it'll be more than welcome, especially for the wicketkeeper. Make her life a lot easier. As the ball is driven really nicely there through the covers. It was very full, had to dig it out, and it's gone away for 4. It's raced away. Picked the gap nicely. There was cover out on the offside, deep on the offside on the boundary, but that one was too straight for her to cut it off, and lovely shot there. Brings up another boundary for Florence. She moves on to 18. And that's the end of the 7th.
Well timed there by Florence. And the ball races away. It's 40 now for no loss after 7. Quite clear from the two batters. Batisani is very good on the on and Florence is very good on the off. So as a bowler, really, you know when to adjust to whoever's facing, and as the captain, you know which field setting. Florence with 2 boundaries of that extra cover drive, and Batisani 3 boundaries already from that swipe, or you'd say sweep, to down mid wicket. Suzanne continues, and now they get a single. I want to see now. We know Florence has just hit a boundary in the previous over through covers. If they'll have a deep extra cover, I don't know what to call that fielder, Oli. Not really on the boundary, and I don't know. Let's see. Is she really in the best position to stop that boundary? And again,
real misfield there as the fielder knocks it meters to her right, and good awareness and running from Botswana. Yeah, it's an interesting field placement, maybe trying to cut off any chance of a 2 there, as she looks to be maybe 10 paces in from the boundary, but we'll have to see if she does get beaten. I suppose with the fielder at a kind of straight cover position quite close in the ring, they'll be hoping that she stops any of those straight drives, but we've seen a few misfields from Germany, so
Sharanya. Chance The throw was not accurate. If that was thrown straight over the stumps, you get the feel that could have been out. But Tisani survives.
Yeah, definitely fortunate there. Should have been a run out for sure. It was just maybe a bit slow to take off. Seems they're not running too hard in the middle there, and same could be said for the field as well. Just quite a slow throw in there with no real purpose, and perhaps the wicketkeeper a little bit slow as well, so they've been let off for sure. But it's still good to see some positive running, and it shows as well that there are singles to be snuck out there in the field.
I like the bowling from Sharanya so far. Not too full, not too short, as we see her ball her last over. That is the line and length you want to be on this pitch. Ends over number 8. The score is 44 for no loss.
One thing you love as a bowling team is to have 2, if not at least 1 new batter at the crease to target, and at the other end of the spectrum, one thing you hate is 2 batters that are going well, knocking the ball around nicely, have their eye in, and that's exactly what we have out in the middle from Botswana. Both scoring at under 100 strike rate, but 22 and 16 runs each, so they're getting on nicely. Florence moves into the 20s, Oluboying on 16 off of 20, so I think they seem more than happy to not be taking any risks at the moment, just knocking the ball about, picking the runs where they can, and trying to make it through into these middle overs, because if you have wickets to spare in these middle overs, then you really can play with more freedom, whereas if you have wickets down and the tail enders padding up, then you need to think about rebuilding and playing a bit cautiously, when here Botswana, you'd imagine, can start to play with some freedom, knowing that they have batting to come. Nice full ball there. Again, it's beaten the fielder, although she recovers very well to prevent any quick single from that misfield.
Bowling change. The new bowler, Stephanie Fronmaya. They do want a wicket or 2, and I feel the best chance really, as we see Stephanie cut away powerfully there through covers. The ball is racing away, but there is protection. They pick up a single. I feel only the best chance for Germany to get a wicket would be a run out. I've noticed the running isn't the best from Botswana, because the batters are really not trying to take any risks. We haven't seen much of those, you would say, risky shots or anything in the air, so a run out is a chance.
Lovely shot there. It races down to third man. Won't go for a boundary, but they pick up a good 2. Half chance, but the throw again, not really showing much intent there. And I think an ironic benefit for Germany in their pretty poor fielding in the first 8 overs is that it means that I don't think the Botswana openers are really running with 100% concentration, because they haven't been punished yet, and they're not really seeing threatening fielding from the Germans. So I agree with you. I think a run out chance really is, at the moment at least, the best chance for a wicket, because the bowling it's been relatively tidy but hasn't been the most attacking. I can't really see where the wickets will be coming from.
And Germany do have one of the best fielders in this competition. They are short cover, Janet Ronalds. Watch out for her, very quick. She is a gun fielder, and you feel would be the person to give them that breakthrough.
Lovely shot there. That ball's running to the boundary. The chase is on. It doesn't quite make it. That's inches away. Good chase by the fielder there to restrict the batters to, I think, just a 2. But it's a nice shot again, targeting that area. Playing the ball late, playing it behind square, which is good to see as well. You need to think 360 degrees when trying to pick the runs here in the field. And that's the end of the 9th over.
ये पक्का। अब सीख तो गए, अब तो जाने दो मुझे।
ठहर जाइए, कोई प्रॉब्लम हो गई तो कहाँ ढूंढेंगे आपको?
फैंटेसी अखाड़ा का 24/7 कस्टमर सर्विस है, आपकी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करवा देंगे।
कल जाने देंगे। फैंटेसी स्पोर्ट्स का असली अखाड़ा।
इस गेम में वित्तीय जोखिम के तत्व हैं और इसकी लत लग सकती है। कृपया जिम्मेदारी से और अपने जोखिम पर खेलें।
Very good lines from Sharanya. She's been bowling so tightly there. You'd say off stump. Not too full, not too short. Just creating that doubt in the batter's mind. And again, good lines. Another dot.
Yeah, that strike rate of Florence really dropping here. 22 off of 34 balls. If she can bat deep into this innings and really start playing some shots, using her feet, trying to get some boundaries, I think they won't mind that. Plays that one nicely off the pads, but the fielder's there to cut it off.
The dots though, the dots haven't lost a wicket. 10th over. Something has to give.
Yeah, I think that's one thing we have seen from teams in this tournament. The difference between a good score and a great score here. All teams are capable of hitting boundaries, as we've seen. All teams have some great players that can smack the ball to the fence, but what makes a great score, like we've seen the Tanzania innings against Kenya comes to mind, as they sneak a quick single there. Really good running. Didn't hit it far off the square, but right in the middle of the pitch. The keeper had to run to that ball, and appreciation from the Botswana camp as they recognise that good running. But as I was saying, the Tanzania innings against Kenya comes to mind, where stopping that build-up of dots, turning the good balls into ones and twos, and then hitting the bad balls for boundaries, that's where you get your big scores. We haven't really seen it here from Botswana, but as this game goes on, as the field gets more defensive, as you imagine it would, then we're really going to be wanting to see some quick running between the wickets, as well as the big shots that we all want to see as well.
Now, that second last ball of that over, the bowler had bowled so well, 4 dots on the trot. As a fielding team, you know something is going to give. And the batters pick up an easy single there. The captain was a short mid-wicket, and you feel there the bowler was done. That was the chance. Something had to give. Still a good over though, as we see Stephanie coming at the pavilion end to bowl her second over.
That's a nice shot there. There is cover now out deep on that offside. It's good running though. They're running on the throw, which you can do out here really, especially when you hit it to that boundary. The throw not coming in over the stump, so you can afford to take that run as the fielder picks it up. It's a good 2 there. A good field placing as well from Germany. That projected score there, 102, definitely feels like it would be short for Botswana, but do you agree that having those wickets in hand means that we should start seeing some more risks being taken and the ball being hit a bit harder to these boundaries?
Yep, 102 really would be short. 52 for no loss in 10 overs. You can't ask for a better start. Their best batter, Tapelo Modise, is still in the dugout, so you'd feel the 2 really pulled away powerfully there. Chance. Christina Goff, another dropped catch. Her second of the innings. But that is the point. The dots are creating the pressure, and we are starting to see the big shots come out. And Germany will sense a wicket or 2. It's not very far.
Yeah, again, like the first drop from the exact same place, really wasn't a ball that deserved a wicket, but the batter somehow picked out the fielder perfectly. That one was definitely an easier chance than the one before, but it was put down as Botswana take the single there. 4 runs coming from the first 4 balls of this over.
I don't mind the running and the rotating, but I feel you still need the boundaries or the intent. Let's see the batters show some intent to try and be aggressive. Someone step out of your crease. Florence on strike. I don't mind those singles, but then you do need to start now trying to hit the ball slightly harder. Slightly harder. And joining us in the combox is our former captain, cricket lover, Mary Maina. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Mr. Captain. It's an interesting commentary setup today. It's the captains, both with the mic and not playing this time around. How are you doing today?
And you can tell away the energy from Mary is always there. Ends over number 11. The score is 56 for no loss.
And if you're just joining us live, we are coming to you live from Gahanga Cricket Stadium here at the heart of Kigali, Rwanda. Where Germany is taking on Botswana in their final match here. Well, it has been a very interesting morning there. And again, as we continue to see a great start from the Botswana team, 56 for no loss in 11 overs. Clinton, I should say, the fielding that is going on, it reminds me of the game between Germany and Uganda, which had the highest score of over 200 runs. And from what we saw, the missed chances that we are seeing here, the low intent of the runouts, and drop of big catches made them concede a very huge score, and which helped the Ugandan team knock a very big knock there.
Please, Mary, any Germany supporter out there, they don't want to relive that memory. That was carnage at IPRC. 213 was the score. My goodness. Sharanya, shot and pulled away. Pushing hard. Will they come back? They decide not to.
And as you can tell, like, coming back to Oliver's point, the batters are not running so hard. So, and they're not giving them any other chances. I think the opportunity here to break this partnership should be a run out, which the fielding team unfortunately seems a little bit uninterested.
Well, this is the time now that we've just been mentioning that the batters will try and play a shot or two in anger or try and hit the ball slightly harder, and this could create some chances. Joining Mary is Mr. Romeo Ngabo. Romeo, morning.
Good morning, Clinton. How are you? Wow, that's a good shot. It's a one bounce. It goes down the cow corners. That's a very good shot from Ole Bogeng.
That's good welcome for Romeo there. How are you doing this morning, Romeo?
I'm easy busy, as you can see. How are you, Mary?
I'm good. Nice. Great shot there to the cow corner. It looked like it was going for a maximum. Just missed the big mark by just a few inches there.
I hope my car is safe. The ball was chasing it, but yeah, this is I'm loving the batting side for the Botswana. Really, it's I think this is their best innings for me. Otherwise, they've been losing wickets back to back, but today they seem to be determined and keeping their wickets really, and it's very good. It's good improvement if you looked at the games they have played previously. So this is really good.
I choose to agree with you. Great intent from the opening pair there, but it's a big frustration for the German side, especially that I would say, Clinton, what do you think? I think the bowlers are doing a really good job. I think the biggest fail is within the field, where you're seeing, the throw, the intent of the throw. If it's to pick up that run out, people need to take those chances. You can't think twice when you want to when you want to hit a direct hit, and you see very slow throws and a very slow pickup by the keeper herself as well. So I think an improvement here. It's time that the captain Christina would want to have a chat with the team regarding that.
Yep, Sharanya just pulled out her 4-over spell, conceding 13 runs. So you'd say the bowlers really are not doing badly. It is the fielding, but this is now a different time of the innings. The batters will be coming hard. So you, as a bowler, of course, this will test you. For the fielders, they still need to take those catches.
She was going for the big one there, but she couldn't connect it properly. You could even tell from we could even hear at the commentary box the sigh from the batter for not connecting to that. I would say, Clinton, it would be interesting to see a feud set up like the one that was used during when German was playing France a little bit last year. They won the series, and I would say, in addition to the batting, they did so well. The fielding was exceptional during that time with very little mistakes. And as we've seen throughout these games, especially here within the Kwibuka tournament, the teams that have performed well, like Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, what they've done is just slightly making sure they're not giving chances and making sure they're not letting you get away with the chances.
Spot on, Mary. Now, there is some debate going on around the cricketing world in T20 of the retired out, Oli. Looking at the two batters at the crease at the moment, knowing they need boundaries, as we see Stephanie. Knowing they need boundaries, but seems like there are those kind of batters that just like to rotate and time the ball nicely, not really power hitters. I don't know if that is a bad plot or a bad idea for someone to retire out and bring in. Well, that will do as well. First wicket for Team Germany. Stephanie, beautifully bowled.
Yeah, that's one way to walk back to the pavilion whilst keeping within the spirit of the game, not retiring out, but instead having your bails cleaned off the stumps there. And I think, yeah, it's definitely what you were saying was interesting, because if I was a big hitting number 3, number 4, which I'm very much not, but if I was, then you would be starting to get a bit antsy, a bit frustrated there, as the openers are just still kind of knocking the ball around, only just starting to swing hard with real intent, because you look at that projected score at 102, and you know, we talk about some poor fielding and some good batting, but if the 20 overs are done and that score is at 102, I think you definitely have your money on Team Germany there to chase that down. So I think these batters will want to get their skates on now, because this projected score is just around that 100 mark, but they'll want to try and elevate that as much as possible as they go deep into this innings.
And Oli, nothing to lose. This is not the final or the semi-final. Play your shots. It's the last game. The captain is in, Captain Laura, to join Florence Samanyika. I want to see some shots. I really want to see some shots. Germany has done very well to restrict them, but Botswana really, with 9 wickets in hand, 110 would be a minimum score.
Yeah, I think, as you said, having those wickets in hand is what Botswana will like to see, as that ball is cut away there. It's running away to the boundary. It won't make it. As you see as well from these batters out in the crease, that was some good running there. They were getting their heads down, which looked like the openers weren't doing so much, and I think it's a different game out at the crease versus sat by the pavilion watching from the outside. I think the captain, as she comes to the crease, will definitely have been observing what was happening and have that outside perspective that actually maybe they're taking it a little bit easy. That's another good single that they're sneaking. The keeper again having to retrieve that ball from the middle of the square. That's what we want to see. These good balls turn into ones, the bad balls turn into boundaries. That's what will really get this projected score up, because at the moment, I think Germany will be liking what they see.
I'll make it quite clear, Oli. No more dots. Honestly, the dots over number 13, really, 9 wickets in hand. You know Germany has the likes of Christina Goff, Janet Ronalds, who will be playing. Well, that is more like it. I don't mind that at all. Captain Laura. The openers for Germany really get going straight away. And if Botswana was to post anything less than 120 with 8 wickets in hand or 7, these dots, I don't want to see these dots anymore.
Yeah, as you see that ball being pitched pretty short there, but still being played with a straight bat.
And guess who's on strike? The opener, Florence Samanyika, 29 runs off 45. Yes, Florence. Hit that ball hard. She's been in. I'm sure by now the ball is very clear, big as a balloon. Strike it, have some fun.
Yeah, as we have mentioned though, these German bowlers really not giving too much to work with. Bowling at a nice line. Again, why have commentators? They curse everything as that ball is bowled above the waist and the signal goes up from the umpire. It's a no ball. And that'll be a free hit here for Florence.
All right, come on now. This is a free hit. Romeo, a 6 or a 4?
Let me say a boundary to be on the safe side. And that's an edge that goes down Galiba. No run, unfortunately.
Well, Mary, you played. You are the captain. Is it harder than it looks?
But I should say, from the body language of Florence, I was already looking at the boundaries themselves, expecting the ball to cross the ropes there. It's the end of 14 overs, and it seems Germany is restricting the Botswanan batters from going dots at this time. That would
Stephanie continuing for Team Germany. She is the only bowler to get a breakthrough so far. And she knows the batters will be coming hard. Big shot there from Florence Samanyika. But very good fielding from Antonia. Keeps it to only 1. This is the time of the innings now, where you get to see boundaries or wickets or run outs, something.
it's fireworks time.
Yep.
That was a return missed by an inch by the bowler. Good bowling, I should say. And great intent from the batters. Oh my. Another wicket down. She was going for the maximum, but could not connect it properly and added maximizing the air. Another breakthrough for Team Botswana here. I mean for Team Germany, bagging their second wicket. I would say the captain is gone at 73. I would say Botswana still is okay with all the resources they have. I think it's a good intent with the bat, and that's what they would be expected to do.
Looking at that replay, I don't blame really Captain Laura. Yes, she missed the ball, but that was a Yorker. So you feel could have been a dot had she not tried to play that big shot. But it doesn't mean she should miss as well. Stephanie, on the other hand, will not mind. 2 wickets already as we see the new batter in for Team Botswana. Matome, another powerful hitter. Florence still there. She opened the batting, faced the first delivery of the game. Still there.
I think the mission from the Botswanan camp is very clear, ladies and gentlemen. All the big hitters to come rotate around Flora, around Florence.
Oh, Matome there. Decides to have a look. First ball. That is all I'm giving her. One ball is enough. Minimum a single here. Yep, you can see the intent there. She's now ready to start playing some shots. And anyone out there listening, it doesn't mean just swinging blindly. Playing some shots just means proper timing of the ball. See, it is slightly harder. Stephanie. Shot again on outside off, and interestingly there from Matome, decides to let it go. Interesting leave there from Matome. That was a bad ball.
I agree with you there. And knowing her power with a cut shot, that would have been the time to play it.
Chance. Good effort there from Stephanie. Oh, and they scamper through for another. Oh, the keeper should have collected that one safely, but did not. And they pick up 2. Ends 15 overs. The score is 76 for 2. If Germany can get Botswana to post anything under 100, I dare say, would feel they've done very well and will back themselves up to come and chase it. Still yet to get their first win, Team Germany. Is this the day?
I would say, Clinton, this is the only chance they have to register a win and go back to German, having bagged one win at the Kwibuka tournament, their first win in Africa actually.
Suzanne bowling her last over. On strike is Florence Samanyika. Signaled wide there by umpire Onokoye. Germany were chasing 94 against Botswana and started off going at 9 runs and over in the power play. Christina and Janet Ronas doing very well, but somehow really didn't get over the line in that game, and you feel this is a second chance for them to try and redeem themselves. Very painful loss. Same ground. Come on, Florence. Let's see some shots. Throw the covers there. They pick up a single. Florence playing a long innings. You get the feel maybe the coach has sent her to play out the overs. Keep one end. That would mean Matome on strike now will be the aggressor. Big shot there from Matome. Another single.
Great bowling there from Suzanne. As you can tell, Matome is here for business, but Suzanne will not allow her to go big. Seems the boundaries seems to have gone quiet at the moment.
Well, Mary, at the beginning of the innings, a gentleman in the combox by the names of Oli. Every time Oli mentioned something about the field setting for Team Germany, Botswana would get a boundary. 3 separate occasions. So maybe Oli, to take us through the last of us, will bring some luck for Team Botswana.
And a chance. Is it taken? Finally a breakthrough there. The keeper decides to take this one after missing a number of chances there. This time around, she will not miss any other chance. Good fielding there. And the big hitter Matome walks.
Yeah, I think finally is the word that we're looking for. Chance after chance goes begging. But it was some good fielding there from Germany. Really showed aggression with that throw, and the keeper with some quick hands there. It was a run that you can't blame Botswana for taking. After what we've seen in the German field so far, it could well have been a successful run there, but on this occasion, it wasn't to be.
I agree with you, Oli. That is the sort of fielding that was required from the start from Team German if they were to restrict the Botswanan ladies below 100. But it's good to see the good comeback with the field. And to replace the big hitter is no other than Tapelo Modise on strike. She is currently the top scorer for the Botswana with a total of 80 runs in 6 innings. Will this be the time to continue upping her total score to see Botswana get to over 100, as the projected score at the moment is cruising and dropping slowly to 100.
Yeah, I think from a personal perspective, she would have liked to have a bit more than just the 4 overs to get some runs here in their final game. But 4 overs is better than nothing, and there are runs out here to be scored. What I've noticed is pretty much everything being met with such straight bats from Botswana, which you'd like to see with balls that are nice and full, driving them down the ground. But even these balls that are being pitched relatively short are still just being driven, where you'd like to see perhaps that bat really being sent with some pace. As they come back, it'll be close, but again the throw not with much power there as they come back for 2. It's good run, it's exactly what they'll want, as these boundaries will be relatively hard to come by. There's definitely 2s out there if they hit it to the deep fielders of the German side, as we see there. As the off spinner that opened the bowling for Germany is back. She holds on to that ball again with the fielder backing up. Maybe we could have seen a little attempt at a direct hit there, but sensible cricket, you must say, being played. Avoid any ricochets off the stumps.
I agree with you. It seemed that Tapelo was already on play. That was a loud appeal. But the umpire was definitely not very much interested. And as you mentioned, Oli, a lot more power throws and a lot more quick hands would have helped German and this, in this game, especially getting a lot more wickets. A misfield there. That leaves the Botswanan lady smiling hard after getting their couple of runs there.
Yeah, I think one thing that can be said is, although the fielding hasn't been really up to scratch, it's not really led to a leaking of runs consistently, more just the missed run-out chances. As again, the Botswana batters think behind square as they just dab the ball down, fine, to third man and sneak a run, which is good thinking here. This ball giving a lot of air, really being floated up there, giving the batsman no pace to work with. And that ends the 17th over here. It's 86 for 3, projected score just at 101. Mary, I think it's safe to say that feels like a low score here for Botswana. That being said, there's still some firepower to come, I'm sure.
I agree with you. Very good spell there from Kohli. And as she continues to defend the famous Kohli name here at Gahanga, she has continued to flawlessly perform as expected and beyond expected. End of the 17th over. 85 runs for 3.
Big swing there from Tapelo Madise. No connection though. And it'll be a dot ball, another dot ball that the Germans will like to see. Every dot ball here at the end of this innings will be precious to keep this score down. As the ball is pulled away to the deep mid wicket. Fielder, just the single there, not challenging the throw. It was hit hard, it arrived quickly to that fielder, who did well just to clean up and restrict these Botswana batters to 1s and 2s. You just look at this field, trying to find the gaps. Where are the boundaries here? As another quick single is taken. Could be a chance, but it's some good running and good alertness from Germany backing up there. Botswana thought about the second, but wise decision to turn it down. But yeah, we see mid-on inside the circle, possibly worth trying to go over the top there. Maybe using the feet, although, again, as I mentioned before, this wicketkeeper standing up really does restrict these batters and doesn't let them play with that much freedom with their feet, coming down the wicket, dancing to the ballers. We see so many good batters do. Steady over here so far. 3 runs coming from the first 4 balls. Only singles.
A really great comeback from the German side. Missed the chance there for a run out, as we've continued to see even towards the end of the innings. But I should say, a great comeback for the bowlers. They've managed to slow down the second half of the innings. It was expected to go a little bit louder with a lot more fireworks, as the big hitters for the Botswana team were coming in. But as you can see, their effective bowling straight to the stumps only restricted the batters to only afford a maximum of a couple of runs from a ball. I'd say great comeback there.
Yeah, and although I've questioned the lengths that are being bowled, really putting in some short balls, like we saw with that previous over, they're bowling very straight as well. And although the offside boundary remains relatively unprotected, especially straighter, it's only allowing the batters. There's another quick single is snuck. That should be out. It's a direct hit. It looks to be gone, and the umpire's finger is raised. Definite intent being shown by Botswana to just take these quick singles. Maybe they really are finding it tricky to find the boundaries and aren't letting these dot balls build up. We saw in the previous over only 1 dot ball, 5 singles coming from the previous over, so they're really trying to sneak these runs. Was not a run there though, and that's some good fielding and another run out.
I would say good bowling there. All the time, dot balls create pressure, especially in these crucial overs. The last overs where Team Botswana is looking to cross at their 100 mark. And finally, Florence walks off, shying away from her half century with just about 9 runs. Great performance there with the bat, but I should say that was a very risky run. I didn't see that run happening. It was, I think they had gotten too used to the misfields and missed chances by the German side and thought they could get away this time with making a risk of a run. But as they say, every day is not Christmas Day. It's what we say in Africa.
Yeah, really interesting as well. Often deep into these innings we see batters trying to hit the ball hard to the boundaries, perhaps not being successful, getting frustrated, getting out, but Botswana really just being very happy to knock the ball down, play with a straight bat, hit the ball right in front of their nose and take that quick run. As we see the new batter of Botswana coming in, Tuelo Shadrack. Just look at that stance, that bat coming up so high. And you must say, you'd imagine Shadrack, when she gets her swing on, that ball can travel. That's just what we want to see. From a neutral perspective, definitely in the Botswana camp, that clean sound of leather on willow will be one that's been somewhat rare, as a single is taken here to the leg side, gets Shadrack off the mark. And 2 relatively new batters at the crease. I mentioned earlier, it's just what a fielding bowling side like to see, although later on in the innings it's obviously more common, but to get rid of Florence, who have been in there so long, would have been very welcome. As the ball is pulled away, they come back for a 2 and they will take it. That first run not really being taken with that much intent, but the fielding did allow for the second run to be taken there.
And again, the throw continues to work in the Botswanan favor as they managed to pick up another comfortable run, I should say, off a throw. Antonia continues from the, and a big one there, it's in there. And of course, over the fielder in the mid-off. And the Botswana manages to bag themselves another couple of runs, as now they shy away from 100 mark by only 3 runs. Good bowling there. Slow ball. The pace of the ball made the batter a little bit impatient. It took a while to get to her, frustrating her. And Kohli manages to register another dot ball. Good bowling there from Asmita.
Yeah, did an important job opening that bowling for Germany, getting them off to a really tidy start, not picking up any wickets, but in the opening 2 overs that she bowled, did pick up a wicket in the last though. As the final over of this innings is underway, and I imagine they'll be saying yes to most runs as a direct hit comes in, but comfortably in there. And I think looking at that scoreboard, 98 up with 5 runs to go, Germany have worked so hard here to limit this score to under 100, which I'm sure, Mary, if you told the German team with 19.1 overs gone, Botswana have not brought up triple figures, they'd be pretty happy with that, you must say.
I agree. And Oli, again, you mentioned about the shots, the fielding, and another boundary is shown. I hope our viewers from German will not take that as a commentator's curse. But again, I would say finally, after about 6 overs, we've seen a boundary. That's a really good comeback from the German side, restricting the big hitters from getting any boundaries. Great intent from the Botswana ladies there as they look to finish big. It's 100 up for the Botswana. Well played in there. It's 102 for 4 in 19.3 overs.
Yeah, and that previous ball there definitely deserved to go for a boundary. Awful full toss down the leg side. As they come back, it will be close. Again, the throw really not thrown where the wicketkeeper would have wanted it. No chance of the run out there with that throw on Botswana. With the dive, come back for 2. It was good to see as well. Full toss down the leg side on that ball that went for 4. But the batter thought very creatively, thought behind square with that fine leg up. Absolutely no protection on the boundaries behind square, which hasn't proved problematic really for the Germans so far, but it was good thinking, not just to hit the ball straight in front of square, but to think 360, as we like to see.
Great running there from Tapelo, and a lot of commitment with a good dive that saves her for the day. Another big shot just to the covers and get back. And 1 to go. At 105 for 4 in 19.5, we are yet to see what Teolo will do with the last ball.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, that backswing just in the stance, coming up so high there.
I agree with you, Oli. So high. Oh! And again, we complete this innings with another missed chance from the keeper there. There was a chance for a run out. And it's the end of the first innings. Botswana ladies bagging themselves with 107 runs, 2 wickets. Great innings, I would say. Not the best of the fielding from the German side, but I should say their bowling went really well, restricting the Botswana, who were on fire, to registering the second win to right below 120. What do you think, Oli?
Yeah, I think credit needs to go to the German bowlers there. As you said, in the field, it was, you must say, a below par performance. And I mentioned before that the fielding mistakes didn't lead to a consistent leaking of runs. But as we well know, cricket's a funny game and it can be lost by just 1 run, 2 runs, 3 runs. And should that happen, I think the Germans will definitely be thinking back with some regret and disdain about these fielding mistakes. That being said, they can put that behind them now and focus on what they can do with the bat.
And our dear lovely viewers, if you're just joining us, we are coming to you live from Gahanga Cricket Stadium, where Germany is taking on Botswana here in their final game. It is the end of the first innings as the Botswana managed to register 107 for 4 runs. And we will be back shortly for the second innings, where Germans will be looking to chase 107 runs. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere, because the fireworks will begin in the second innings here at Gahanga. We'll be back shortly.
मारती जी, फैंटेसी अखाड़ा में विदेश जाने का भी चांस है। अब सुनो, हम आपको जाने देंगे। इतना सिखा दीजिए कि हम फौरन कैसे जाएंगे।
फैंटेसी स्पोर्ट्स का
असली अखाड़ा।
इस गेम में वित्तीय जोखिम के तत्व हैं और इसकी लत लग सकती है। कृपया जिम्मेदारी से और अपने जोखिम पर खेलें।
ये पट्टा। अब सीख तो गए, अब तो जाने दो मुझे।
ठहर जाइए, कोई प्रॉब्लम हो गई तो कहाँ ढूंढेंगे आपको?
फैंटेसी अखाड़ा का 24/7 कस्टमर सर्विस है, आपकी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करवा देंगे।
कल जाने देंगे।
फैंटेसी स्पोर्ट्स
का असली अखाड़ा।
इस गेम में वित्तीय जोखिम के तत्व हैं और इसकी लत लग सकती है। कृपया जिम्मेदारी से और अपने जोखिम पर खेलें।
कितने पैसे चाहिए?
पैसा नहीं, इज्जत। मोहल्ले के चिरकुट लौंडे हरा रहे हैं फैंटेसी स्पोर्ट्स में। आप एक्सपर्ट हो, सिखाओ।
सिखाऊंगा तो जाने दोगे? फैंटेसी स्पोर्ट्स का
असली अखाड़ा।
इस गेम में वित्तीय जोखिम के तत्व हैं और इसकी लत लग सकती है। कृपया जिम्मेदारी से और अपने जोखिम पर खेलें।
and the Germans failed to chase it in 17 overs. And now they are back. The score is higher, and we expect to see some improvement from the German side. Let's see. It's a cricket game. It's cruel enough, and anything can happen really. The Germans had a good start then, where they had 40 runs in the power play. And today we are back. Same openers, Christina Goff, alongside Janet Ronalds, who's on strike.
I would say great shot there. Great technique by Janet. Slicing the points and the covers to get themselves the first boundary, and the same shot, same place, but not perfect timing. The opening bowler coming from the pavilion end for the Botswanan lady is Gabilowe Matope. A very good player with the bat. She didn't get to perform as expected today with the bat. Let's see, as an opening bowler, the captain brings her in, probably to try and break this dangerous partnership of the German side. Good fielding there, the covers. Good job there by Tapelo in the covers. That was a strong hit, a strong shot there. But courtesy of Tapelo, the Germans were not able to get themselves any run there. The first extra of the inning, courtesy of Gabilwe.
Let's see. The Germans are only required 5.3 per over to win this game, and they finish the tournament as number 7 on the list. The winner becomes the 7th in the tournament. And Christina Goff is the top scorer for Team Germany with a total of 160 runs with a bat, followed by her team player Sharanya Sadaranganyi with a total of 80 runs in their previous 7 innings played. And Janet Ronalds on strike. She's the best performer on the field for the Germans with a number of 6 wickets, 6 dismissals, and 6 catches. That was some good running in between wicket between Janet and Christina. Let's see. Christina to get off the mark.
A loud shout there by the fielder, calling for the keeper zone. But the German batters were able to get safely to the crease. For those who are just joining us, we are coming to you live from Gahanga Cricket Stadium, where Germany is taking on the Botswanan ladies, Pula ladies, as they like to call themselves. It is the second innings, as the Botswanan ladies set 107, which the German ladies are looking to chase in this second innings. First over of the innings, 7 for no loss. End of the first over there from Guabilwe. Beautiful game of cricket being played there, I should say. Romeo, it has been an exciting 8 days of beautiful talent of cricket from the women's side, from 8 different countries that were hosted here for the Kwibuka Thanks to Rwanda Cricket Association for providing a beautiful platform like Kwibuka tournament, where the cricket talent of the female sides will be showcased to the entire world, for the entire world to see there is cricket talent among the females in Africa and also beyond.
Yeah, indeed, Mary, it has been a 10-day period of good cricket here, and we are not done yet. RCS still has a lot to offer in the store, as right after this league there will only be one day in between, which will be Sunday the 19th, and on 20th they kick off another league locally organized, and namely Elite League, where we shall have a player from each and every team that has participated to join the 3 local clubs that have been organized to play that Elite League, which will run in 5 days from 20th to 24th, and every team will face the other twice, and there will be finals. So that's some good cricket again from the females, organized by Rwanda Cricket Association. And the viewership, we thank you very much. We shall keep you posted on progress. Keep following.
A chance there. Janet was falling into the sticky grips of the bowler there, but the bowler was not quick enough to get into it, giving another life to Janet. Good bowling there. It is the second over of the second innings, and coming on attack with the ball from the banana plantation end, it's Tandiwe Legabili. A misfield there that has managed to earn the German side a quick single. I should say great bowling there from Tandiwe, as this is the first run they've managed. The German ladies could afford, after 4 deliveries from her, 2 to go, 8 for no loss in 1.4, and the Janet at 6 after 9 deliveries. Christina yet looking to open her account. Beautifully done to the offside, and opens her account with a couple of runs. Another misfield that might actually... There was a call for a run there, but Christina says no need. Quite early for risky running right now. She looks to be on form. Romeo, we saw Christina play beautifully yesterday. Interesting how they were able to restrict Kenya to below 120. I think it was a good lesson learned after the Ugandan game. Conceding a 200, they were very strict, able to do that yesterday. Christina gave a very good knock of 48 not out, and probably looking to bring the same form to this game. I'm sure if she plays the same way she did yesterday, she'll be able to anchor the German team to the finishing line.
No, it's good to see. If you look at the whole tournament from day 1 up to day 7, up to day 8, which was yesterday, Christina managed to join the top 5 in the top scorers list. She's number 4 with 160 runs, which is really good. And I like the piece of cricket that came from the batting of the captains.
A chance there.
They have been leading by example, really. If you look for Tanzanians, there are Fatuma Kibasu is on top. Quinta Abel, she's there on top, representing Kenya. And Germany, represented by Christina Goff. And Rwanda, represented by Diane. Those are the top 5 batters. But the number 1 is a Ugandan, not the captain. Her name is Kevin Awino, who leads with a total of 248 runs.
I agree with you. After the big knock from Kevin Awino while playing against the Germans, that saw her to the top of the list and giving a big room in between her and the second best batter at the time. But there seems to be closing up. Good piece of fielding there. Direct hit. But Janet was comfortably in the crease. Romeo, I believe I love the attitude that we are seeing from the Pula ladies. They have shown better fielding attitudes, going for the direct hits without thinking twice and avoiding misfields as much as possible. And those are the mistakes that that makes you lose the game if you don't avoid them, which they have comfortably managed to do. I believe if they continue avoiding the small mistakes that the Germans were unable to avoid, they might have an upper hand at the end of the day. Great spirit of cricket there. A deflection courtesy of Christina, but she chooses not to make a run. And I would say that is what you would expect people to be playing in the spirit of the game. A big one pulled there, and they call for the second one. But the fielders at the boundary were able to return the ball back faster than the pace of the captain and Janet in between the wickets.
मारती जी, फैंटेसी अखाड़ा में विदेश जाने का भी चांस है। अब सुनो, हम आपको जाने देंगे। इतना सिखा दीजिए कि हम फॉरेन कैसे जाएंगे।
फैंटेसी स्पोर्ट्स का
असली अखाड़ा।
इस गेम में वित्तीय जोखिम के तत्व हैं और इसकी लत लग सकती है। कृपया जिम्मेदारी से और अपने जोखिम पर खेलें।
13 for no loss in 3 overs. And Florence coming in on attack with the ball from the banana plantation end. Florence. Opportunity there! And a loud appeal. But umpire Temitsope, the only female umpire in the tournament, wasn't interested. I should say this has been a very special edition of Kwibuka tournament, the 8th edition that I've hosted. For the first time, 8 teams, and for the first time, teams beyond Africa. And again, for the first time, a female umpire, Temitsope, all the way from Nigeria. Great stop there by the bowler, especially after delivering quite a bad ball. Beautiful one for the batter. but she was able to stop that return. Another extra. Tandiwa needs, at this moment in time, to find her line and her length as well. We've seen her being inconsistent with the line and the length. That might look a little bit expensive for the Botswanan side. Great fielding. Great fielding there from Tebogo. I should say, Romeo, this fielding continues to impress me. A great shot there, and there's the chance! Christina was in trouble. Trouble was knocking. And you can tell from the body language of Christina, that was a narrow escape. The keeper wasn't able to collect it swiftly on time. And her mistake of not collecting it in time just buys Christina a dangerous batter from the German side another life, which she seems to be willing to capitalize on. Good drive there to the mid-off, to the mid-on. Beautifully driven there to the mid-off. And you can tell, I believe the chat that is going on there, that was a little bit risky for Christina, and she can still feel the chills of almost having run out there, but the keeper was unable to collect that in time, just buying her another life. 20 for no loss in 4 overs.
Yeah, looking at the rate at which they are going, the batters, it's 5 runs and over, and the required is slightly above that. They only need 5.5. Another drive, she tries to cut it down point, and it looks like they have decided to hit and run. So that is a run off every ball that is connected. And Janet Ronalds on strike. Is that a no ball the umpire is showing? Yes, and it's a free hit. And it's Janet Ronalds facing. Let's see. It's coming from Florence Samanyika. Let's see. She starts off with her second over with a no ball. And she takes it, she drives it, and Tapelo there can let it pass. And they only get a single, quick single there, straight to the fielder. But the Germans are on a mission today. They are on a mission today. Christina Goff on strike.
I would say from the body language of Janet there, and rightfully so, after a signal that all the batsmen love to see from the umpire, free hit signal, she was prepared to go for the maximum with a very beautiful hit there. The fielder on the covers continue to show great talent after allowing the Germans to only collect one. A big shot pulled to the boundary. And it's another boundary there. Oh my. After another life, she proves that she can go for a second round now. I would say Christina here is on fire, ladies and gentlemen. After getting herself a second life, I would say a great start, a beautiful start there from the German side. Keeping their partnership going and growing strong. Another great shot to keep the scoreboard ticking for the German side. And it is another 4, courtesy of Christina. And at the moment, the Germans only need 81 runs of 91 balls. A very possible one. They're still in the game and looking good.
Oh, that is in the air, down deep square leg, and it's collected back to the wicket. Janet Ronalds was trying to pull, looking for the boundary, and she gives strike to Christina Goff, the top scorer on the side, and she seems to be adding a bit. She's number 4 on the top scorers list, and the more she adds, the higher she goes.
Good running by these two, Romeo, I should say. Positive attitude continues to dominate with the bat there. But again, that is how it started in the previous game. A very good start, but the game midway in the chasing time, that was beautifully slapped to the cow corner by Jeanette. Beautiful, beautiful game of play. As I was saying, Romeo, from the previous game, same ground, same team playing. We saw a great start by the German side, but as the game went in the second inning, midway on, the Germans' wicket started crumbling like a house of cards. I think it's something that they look to correct today, judging from the body language and the attitude that is in there.
Yeah, you're right, Mary. Last game they had, when they broke this partnership, everything collapsed. So I hope today they at least play the first 10 overs, because if you look at the current run rate is 6.2. So if they play the first 10 overs with the same rate, probably more. Yeah, that's some good slice. She sliced it between gully and slip, and it goes for a boundary. This looks like an expensive over to be.
Beautiful sliced there, like a hot knife slicing through butter there. Beautifully played with soft hands, nicely. Oli, I know that during the first innings there was a lot of shortcomings from the German side with the ball. And with the field, I mean. What do you think about the current fielding from the Pula girls?
I think one thing for sure is they're going to need to be really sharp here, and they're going to also be relying on their bowlers to pick up wickets. I think if these German openers can continue just knocking the ball around, bat deep into this German innings, then they should be chasing this score pretty comfortably, but a fall of wickets and it's a whole different story. So I think the fielders need to be alert, need to really restrict these singles, because as you've said before, dot balls really do build that pressure. And as the power play ends, we might be seeing a few more fielders dropping to the boundary. But if I was Botswana, I'd be tempted just to be cautious, because leaving easy singles, easy twos in this field for the German batters really could let this run rate soar quite nicely for them. You must say that that's probably a German power play there, 40 runs off of it for no loss. The bowler now, Florence, has a big appeal and the finger goes up straight away. No hesitation there, and the left-hander is gone for Germany. LBW left the umpire in no doubt there at all as the finger is raised very sharply. And that is the loss of the first German wicket, 1 ball after the power play. And as I was saying before, these German openers will want to be batting deep into the innings. Of course, Botswana pick up a wicket, their very next ball. The captain, as she walks off there, having a word with her number 3. Perhaps just giving her some instructions, maybe some advice on what the pitch is doing. But again, I think what this new German batting partnership will want is to just continue as they were. Keep knocking the ball around. Don't let any pressure build up. Pick some singles where they can come. What I liked about a few of those German shots in that power play was they seemed to be doing what perhaps Botswana were lacking a little bit, and really latching on to these short balls, identifying if that length was dragged back a bit by the bowler and playing with that cross bat that can provide a bit more power. New batter here, Wilhelmina Garcia, coming in at number 3. Looking to create this partnership. Botswana, no doubt, with their tails up now, looking for another. Because I think, as that shot is nicely played there through the mid-wicket, perhaps a fielding error, but it was hit pretty hard, very cleanly, that's for sure. But if you're Botswana and you get another wicket here, then you really could be looking at a batting collapse. Being an England fan, I know a lot about batting collapses and just the damage that can do to a team. The Germans will be cautious here, that's for sure. As Wilhelmina with a lovely technique, and it hits the pad. There's a big call. The umpire shakes his head, perhaps looking a little bit high from here, I'm not sure. The umpire in no doubt. But a lovely batting technique. That nice high bat raise. Leaning forward, really looking to get into the ball. And they think about a single, but sensibly turn it down. The last thing they need is any dodgy running. And they have the time as well. I think having bowled so well, having restricted the total, they can afford to just turn down these risky singles for now and really preserve these wickets like they're gold.
Yeah, this it looks like a strategy to Germans. Usually it was Sharanya who was coming one down, and today they have changed the tactics. So it's Ornero Garcia coming. Let's see if the lineup might maybe change something in the favor of the Germans, as they pretty much have a good start. As if you look at the required and the current run rate, they are going at 6.4, which is more than the required, which is 4.8 and over. So they just need to keep the wickets, and then they play all the overs. They will comfortably win this game with wickets in hand.
I think strategy here is really, really key. As the run rate currently stands, I think it's pretty comfortable for the Germans. Under a run a ball, but a build-up of dots, maybe the loss of a few wickets and a batting rebuild, and that required run rate does creep up on you. And if you're out in the crease and you're not paying full attention to it, it can be a bit of a shock and get a bit out of hand. So they'll definitely want to be strategic about it. Just keep knocking the runs around, keep knocking the ball around, picking up these runs. A huge gap in the cover region there. There you go. Exactly what I was talking about. It's a spinning ball there for the fielder, who does well to get it cleanly. It was a slight chance, and I like that from the wicket keeper. Definitely what the Germans lacked. Not just the technique of fielding, but just that intent to turn and say, you know what, I'm going to go for the direct hit. It might not be out, but if there's even a fraction of a chance, we're going to take it. And it was also some good fielding in the deep, a spinning ball there as the ball was sliced away. But as I said, any width that this bowler will offer the Germans, I'm sure they'll be seeing that gaping hole in the offside inner ring and making the very most of it. If it's hit hard enough, I'm sure it could run away for a boundary, but if not, ones and twos for now, as it stands, are perfect for the Germans, as are extras, of course.
Yeah, you're right, Oli. And for the Botswana, they just need to limit the number of singles, the quick singles that are being run in between. And definitely, they should stop those boundaries. That's a very good glance. Some wrist work, and she glances it down fine leg and goes for a boundary. Janet Ronalds playing cool. Today she has managed to keep her wicket, and that's her fourth boundary in this innings.
Absolutely gorgeous shot there. Incredible to watch. Very wristy batter. Just whips that ball off her pads. Using the pace of that ball. Really not generating much power herself. And it goes for 4. And there's that gap. Any width offered. And the Germans will take a comfortable single. Romeo, what do you think of the tactics from the Botswana fielders as that required run rate continues to drop well below one a ball? Are they perhaps needing to go a bit more attacking, maybe sacrificing a few boundary fielders, perhaps even putting, a slip in, a few more short fielders in to try and get wickets, really try and restrict the runs, because as it stands, run a ball will be comfortable for the Germans.
Yeah, it's literally they are both playing their last game in the tournament, apart from 2 of which will stay for the other league next week, which is Elite League. And these ones, as they are playing their last game, they really have to give their all to see if they can outperform themselves in previous games. So definitely, as you
भारती जी, फैंटेसी अखाड़ा में विदेश जाने का भी चांस है। अब सुनो, हम आपको जाने देंगे। इतना सिखा दीजिए कि हम फौरन कैसे जाएंगे।
फैंटेसी स्पोर्ट्स का
असली अखाड़ा।
इस गेम में वित्तीय जोखिम के तत्व हैं और इसकी लत लग सकती है। कृपया जिम्मेदारी से और अपने जोखिम पर खेलें।
A missed stride there by the bowler. Mimi Ramafifi, and delivers a wide ball. Opens her account with a wide ball there. She seems to be okay, but with some little bit of limping going on there. I hope she'll be able to find her steps and bring back her proper run-up back. And another extra there from Ramafifi. I guess this is what the Botswanan lady cannot afford at this moment in time, especially as the Germans need 51 off 72 balls. Very comfortable for them at the moment if they keep rotating the strike. And another beautiful wrist stroke there from Jeanette. 22 runs, 23 runs off 27 balls. Beautifully played there. 58 for 1. At the moment, Romeo, it seems like the odds are smiling to the German side. You can even tell from the comfortable play they're having. That was beautifully pulled. Beautifully pulled there by Jeanette to the boundary. And the German camp is up ablaze. You can hear from the background. Very impressed by the attitudes the ladies are showing in between the crease. That's a beautiful played shot, courtesy of Janet.
That was some good piece of cricket from Janet Ronalds. She hasn't been scoring, and she's a top scorer in the Germans league, but she hasn't been lucky enough on this particular grounds of ours. But today seems to be her day. Let me hope it doesn't do anything with the commentator's curse as she's on strike. But yeah, I wish she stays there. Oh no, oh no.
What is going on, Romeo? I hope the Germans and our German viewers I hope our German viewers did not take that against Romeo here. Hope it's nothing to do with the commentator's curse. A beautiful delivery there from Mimi. Great length. And as Janet was trying to play that down the leg on her bout foot, she was unable to connect that. And she walks off majestically as the German team and German camp is upstanding to welcome her. Great performance, great attitude. And that brings in the Sharanya, who has consistently been an exceptional player throughout this tournament with the ball and with the bat as well. Perhaps the captain brings her at this moment in time in the middle overs to try and get those runs up and done as quickly as possible, as they require 46 off 64. Starts there with a careful defensive shot as she tries to assess the field. Looks like it's something to do with the leg side, as she sees a very big gap there. What do you think, Oli?
I think you used the word consistent there, and that's exactly what Germany will need from the new batter coming in. If I'm in the Botswana camp, you've got to question. They've just got a big wicket. They've just broken a partnership. So many fielders out on the boundary giving so many easy runs. And you look at the run rate, 45 needed off 67 balls. stopping the boundaries if you're bowling first, limiting the total is obviously not a bad tactic at all. But now, when Germany need well under a run a ball, Botswana are desperate for wickets here, and you'd maybe like to see them be a bit more attacking, a bit more ambitious, bringing some fielders in, especially for the new batter here, to try and say, we're not going to give you any easy runs, you're going to need to work for it. Because if Germany are going to struggle in this run chase, you've got to say it's going to be at the expense of their wickets, as opposed to that run rate that remains very, very low for the Germans.
I agree with you there. I think it's something that the captain would think about, with 45 off 66 balls required by the Germans. An attacking field wouldn't be bad of an option at this moment in time, because a running ball is still very much in the Germans' favor. And not to say there's always that opportunity for a bad delivery that might be smacked off the boundaries. Great wrist work there from Wilhelmina. She continues to freestyle Rick big time with beautiful glance shots and drive. But a lot of wrist work is working at the moment. Interesting. And a mistake there. It's in the air. Will it get to the boundary? Didn't put enough power there. And they could only afford a couple of runs from that.
Yeah, you mentioned bad balls, and right on cue, a juicy full toss there for the batter to try and make the most of. And another ball that's far too short, ended up not being too far from the Botswana fielder there that was coming round from mid-off, but it goes for 4. This is already turning into an expensive over. Only 2 balls have been bowled from it. But with the field setting, anything short, you've got a gaping hole both on the offside and the leg side, just to knock it for a 1 at worst, or try and beat the fielder for a boundary. So I think if you're one of the German batters out in the middle there, you're not going to be minding the look of what you see when you look around, these blue shirts scattered around the boundaries, but really nothing protecting these singles here. And this is an important comeback from the bowler, with 4 balls left to bowl, and another one far too short. It's not been punished really, although the Germans look to come back for 2. That's positive running as well. They'll get back comfortably. And although the batter might be a touch frustrated with herself that she didn't really capitalise on that short drag down from the bowler, a 2 is more than enough for what they need at the moment.
I agree. Wilhelmina connected very well, but again, not enough power, especially with her wrist work. I'm sure if she used all the power from the shoulders, and that would have probably gotten to the rope. But at the same time, it's still, the field looks still very much in the chance there. Very close there. And Sharanya almost lost her wicket at this moment in time, even before registering any runs in her account. The misfield of a fielder there buys Sharanya just another life. And we continue to see what that does. Once a batter buys another life of a fielder's mistake, they come big. Is this the time for Sharanya to actually show that she got herself some second life and try to go big out there? It's 72 for 2 and in 10 overs.
It's a lovely shot there down the ground. Won't go for a boundary as the fielder will cut it off again. They come back for 2. I was about to say comfortably, although I think it was anything but comfortable if that ball was heading more towards the stumps. But in the end, they do get away with it. Interesting seeing in that previous over, the risky run being taken, and there another pretty close chance. Perhaps the Germans feeling the pressure a little bit as a lovely shot is played there. That should go to the boundary. The chase was on for a while, but it ends up reaching the rope, bringing up the 4. And with boundaries coming pretty regularly here for the Germans at the moment, I don't think risky runs are needed one bit. It was a lovely shot there. Just beat the fielder at backward point. Was in the air for a little bit, but ended up being a very comfortable boundary.
It shows, with that slide, it shows the importance of spikes on the field. I think it looked like the fielder at the point would have reached it if she didn't slide. But again, loud appeal. John Trust, uninterested with that. Tebogo coming on attack with the ball from the pavilion end.
That one could be close. The umpire thinks about it. Shakes his head. They sneak a leg by there. Or perhaps not. Must have been some bad involved there. No signal from the umpire. Ah, there we go. Leg by it was. Must have been missing perhaps down the leg side. With that wristy whipping action from Wilhelmina there. She looks to go across the line quite a bit with her batting technique. Could get her in trouble, not on that occasion. As the bowler returns with a dot ball.
Sharanya on strike. Yet to come off the mark. An extra there by Mimi. I would say looks like an expensive over as well, as the Germans need 28 runs off 55 balls. This is not that time for the extras. It is time for the dot balls on the Botswanan perspective. And Sharanya gets off the strike with a quick single there of 4 balls faced.
Yeah, and I repeat myself again, surely it's only a matter of time before Botswana see just how low that required run rate is, bring their fielders in, at least some of them. Nothing wrong with protecting the boundaries, because with unprotected boundaries this game could be over very quickly. But that being said, they need wickets. They really do. They need to build some pressure here, and with such an open field, I don't see exactly how they're going to be building this pressure. Very easy singles all around the ground. So from these German batters' perspective, they just need to keep knocking it about, and that 27 runs needed should come in no time.
And if you're just joining us, we're coming to you live from Gahanga Cricket Stadium here at the heart of Kigali, where Botswana is taking on Germany in their last final game of this tournament. It's been a lovely 9 days of tournament. Beautiful cricket has been played here in Kigali, just right a few days ahead of the big event Chogam that will be also hosted here in Kigali. It is the 8th edition of Kwibuka International Women's T20 Tournament here in Kigali. And this specific edition is special as it hosts 8 teams from within Africa and beyond. I would say it's been an absolute pleasure to see and to watch and to witness great talent of cricket among the female cricketers. And thanks to Rwanda Cricket Association for providing a platform such as this to showcase the talent of cricket that is in Africa and beyond, especially amongst the women.
Very controlled shot there. Was in the air, but no risk of being caught as they come back for a comfortable 2 due to that deep fielder at long off. But yeah, beautiful day here at Gahanga for the penultimate day of this tournament. Conditions are immaculate.
I agree with you, Oli. And as we speak and as the situation looks like, the Germans are comfortably now seeing a sign of a win today. Their first win to be registered in this tournament. You can tell from the attitude they've brought into this game. Definitely playing a number of games also comes with its own learning, which they have continued to show. And now they look comfortably in there, chasing even a bigger score than they chased the previous time. And this time I would say the batters are doing a good job compared to the last time, bringing the morale of the Botswanan ladies down as the Botswanan camp goes cold silent at this particular chase, which looks to be so much in the Germans' favor.
Yeah, it is surprising that this would be the Germans' first win of the tournament. They have managed this run chase really well so far. Just the 2 wickets being lost after 12 overs. The run rate looking more than comfortable. Wilhelmina going very strong. Really looking to be in no danger. Really never looked in much danger in the whole game, even in their bowling and fielding innings. Always kept the run rate comfortable. Really managed the game very well. It's a pity that they haven't managed to pick up a victory yet, but... oh, the finger goes up there. The batter hanging around for a little bit. Would have only been a feather, but it is gone. It's a wicket. It's what Botswana need for sure.
And that ends Sharanya's batting innings. It's quite unfortunate that we didn't see much of her, given that she's been one of the big hitters from the German side who's been giving a lot of show and a lot of fireworks. She is the second top scorer as we speak in the German side, with a total of 80 runs. And a couple from today's game. So that puts her at 82 runs. Quite an unfortunate, but this doesn't seem to mean so much and to have so much of a big impact, especially towards the foreseen German win of today's game.
Yeah, and we've mentioned the last game for both of these teams. It's good to see at least 50% of the teams out on the field having fun. Not so many fireworks today, but a controlled innings nonetheless, as Stephanie Frunmeyer comes to the crease to try and take her team over the line. She starts with a confident drive down the ground there. Will pick up the easy single. An aggressive throw from mid-on. Good backing up there by Botswana. Off the mark straight away. That's what a batsman likes to see.
Especially at this number of overs, there's no time to chill around the crease, as everything looks in Germany's favor at the moment. Needing 21 of 46 balls. You might as well get the game ending soon. And a miscommunication that might just cost. She's gone.
Yeah, miscommunication there from the batters. Off a no ball as well. Really quite an unnecessary wicket to give away, and the Germans will be devastated with that. And as we've been talking about this game being comfortably in the Germans' grip hold, these wickets are starting to fall now. No doubt the Botswana tails are up, looking for some more wickets to make this game interesting. 21 still needed. And if these wickets continue to fall, then that could turn into quite a big looking total from a German perspective. For now, as Wilhelmina is still in though, going strong, 29 off of 22 and counting. I'm sure the Germans will feel quite comfortable. Botswana no doubt know just the wicket that they want. As another new batter is introduced, as Mita Kohli is coming to the crease.
I should say a big name there. Asmita Kohli associated with a very big name, and Wilhelmina to face a free hit, a signal that every batsman hopes to see.
Yeah, and Asmita will take that free hit as the run out did come from the wicketkeeper's end. I'm sure if we have any fans from India watching, they'll be excited to hear the name and excited to watch what Asmita Kohli can do on this free hit. Run was taken, so the field can change as we have a fielder dropping to the leg side boundary, unsurprisingly. Asmita Kohli, I'm sure, will be looking to make some room for herself, free her hands, and really, what a way to face your first ball. Free hit, no pressure. That's a dream, isn't it?
I agree. A beautiful way to get off the mark. And oh my, perhaps she was a little bit excited, like we are here in the commentary box. You can tell it's because we are both batters and probably can relate to that feeling where you're trying to get off the mark of a free hit, an opportunity to get off the mark in a big way. She looked a little bit too excited and probably went a little bit faster than the pace of the ball.
Yeah, it was a big swing, but you can see why now. Oh, as she sweeps that away, there is a fielder at deep at fine leg there, so it won't be a single. It's a nice way to get off the mark. Getting low, sweeping that one off her legs. Fine. Straight to the fielder. But facing a free hit off the first ball, swinging about as hard as you can, you then need to, on your second ball, bring yourself back down to earth. Remember that it's not baseball. We're playing cricket. Let's keep a straight bat now.
Totally agree with you there. And especially on the other pitch, we saw what that was close. Pretty close. And as you can tell, the message is clear from the Botswanan camp. Wilhelmina is the big wicket that everybody's eyeing for. And given with the previous experience from the previous encounter, the game was still possible and they were able to restrict German from registering their win despite of starting big. So probably they're looking to do the same. But again, Oli, with these singles, only 18 required of 43 balls. I would say a little bit more will be required from the bowling side. Probably an attacking strategy to try and get Wilhelmina slow down the German scoreboard from ticking, and perhaps there's still a chance. It's a game of cricket, and more so a T20 game of cricket that can change anytime, even with the 6 balls left. We've seen throughout this tournament. You can remember the game where Kenya against Uganda, where Kenya needed 16 runs to win in the last over. They were able to put that on board. So the game is still on. But as long as Wilhelmina is in there, the Germans seems to be, the odds seems to be with the German team.
Yeah, and I don't want to sound like a broken record here and send our viewers to sleep, but I really just don't understand the Botswana field setting. Such easy singles there, especially for a new batter. Surely you want them to pack the field in tight, get the inner ring scattered with hungry fielders and say, if you want runs, they're there, but you're going to have to use your feet, you're going to have to go over the top, you're going to have to take some more risks, because as it stands, it's a lot of singles out here and only 16 more singles needed, and the Germans will have their first win. But like that, a tight inner field, and now that's unlucky. I must say, I think a lot of credit should go to that Botswana fielder. Showed aggression, showed good intent, especially in these late stages where wickets are very much needed over restricting the runs. I don't think Botswana should be too deflated by that ricochet and that overthrow being taken, excuse me. But sums up their day in a way. Just haven't quite got it right, have they?
Quite interesting to see the Botswanan keeper eyeing at that ball as it was slowly flowing to the wicket and waiting for it. Probably it's clear. Again, going for the second run.
Screams coming from the bowler's end there. They're absolutely desperate to see that ball delivered to them. I think, as we've said, it's Wilhelmina's wicket that needs to be taken. As Mita Kohli there, I think it's 4 of her 5 runs, excuse me, have come from exactly the same shot. Cross bat paddle down to deep fine leg. As that one's in the air, fielder's coming in. Oh, needed to go for it. It was a good effort, but the ball's beaten her. And they come back for 2 there. Again, you can definitely tell exactly what type of shot she likes to play. We'll see if the bowlers maybe adjust to that. Even you've got fine leg there so deep, as we saw that signature Mita Kohli paddle shot going down to fine leg, sneaking 2. If you bring that fine leg up, it just takes one top edge and a fielder should be comfortably under it. So something to think about. But for now, the Germans still going along nicely.
A big missed chance there. That looked comfortable, like a comfortable catch. But again, sometimes things are easily said than done. But at this moment in time, it is the time where total commitment is required from the Botswanan side. Even going a little bit step further from the basics, if they're to see themselves restrict the Germans from getting the 13 runs. I think all the chances for the wickets at this point in time are the ones that are needed. And again, to your point, Ole, I do not understand the spread of the field. The singles will still win them the game. Umpire's heart seems to have flown away. Probably it's because of the tension that is in there from the fielding side as they try to restrict things from going on. And as I was saying, at this moment in time, there's no point for the Botswanan to try and restrict boundaries. I think it's a good time for them to take some risks and actually restrict the singles. Get some chances there, because the singles will either way look very good for the Germans.
And you mentioned there, as that ball is smacked away onto the leg side. Save your legs, that'll run away for a boundary. It was in the air, but it was a powerful hit there from Wilhelmina. Comfortable. A lovely shot. And you mentioned there before the phrase easier said than done, and it had me thinking, I'm sat here saying about how easy it is just to knock these singles around, but credit where credit's due. Wilhelmina still has a job to do, as she moves on to 34 off of 28 balls, and she's done that job perfectly. So you must give lots of credit there. It's been a great innings so far, and no doubt she'll definitely want to see her team over the line herself.
I agree with you. And her wrist work seems to continue to do the magic coming through for the German side. Wilhelmina at 34 of 29 balls. She is not playing games here at Gahanga. And this being their last game, they're very committed to winning. An extra.
Yeah, that'll be a wide ball given there. A couple of runs snuck off that.
And it's 100 up for the German side, requiring only 4 runs in 32 ball. It seems like the shutdown sign. And just there, beautifully slapped to the point there. Who put it down? Well, I would say that was a hot shot, and you could tell the hit of the ball was just put down by the fielder, probably too hot to stick into the hands. But at this moment in time, it's time for that requires a lot of commitment.
Yeah, I've never appreciated sitting where I am right now, because I think the last place I would have wanted to be was behind that ball, slapped with so much power there from Wilhelmina, albeit straight to the fielder. She puts it down. No doubt will be disappointed with it, but it was a hard strike, and I'm sure that would have been devastating for the German bat to get out at such a late stage after doing so much hard work anchoring this German innings.
3 required of 30.
And I think with a relatively low total that the Germans were chasing, the strike rate that Wilhelmina's gone at as well is really commendable. 35 runs off of just 30 balls, going at over a run a ball, really showing so much positive intent. And I'm sure seeing 3 runs needed, there'll be the ultimate decision making going on in her head. Do I end with a boundary? Do I play it safe? Finally we see the Botswana field coming in tight, although too little too late comes to mind. It's a nice looking shot straight to the fielder there, and that's what happens when you have fielders packed into that inner ring. Really restricts these runs, although if anyone can find these gaps, it's Wilhelmina.
I agree with you there. I think this is what they were supposed to do around from the 15th over, but now doing it when they require, when the Germans require 3 runs to win. That is quite late for a strategy of attacking at this moment in time. But I would say commendable attitude from the Botswanan side. The game is still on until it ends. That is the great attitude that we want to see. Great fighting spirit, fighting from the first ball to the last one. Commendable indeed.
And it's been a tough day out there for the fielders. The sun beating down, the ball being knocked left, right and centre as a quick single's taken. It goes to the bowler's end. I think that really shows just how much they want Wilhelmina's wicket. A much simpler throw to the wicketkeeper's gloves, possibly a pretty clear-cut chance that the Botswana wicketkeeper is questioning of her fielder there. But they need that Wilhelmina wicket if they stand any chance here.
2 runs required only of 26 balls.
Be interesting to go inside the mind of Wilhelmina now, seeing Asmita Kohli on the non-striker's end with the chance to hit the winning runs. I'm sure Wilhelmina would have wanted to be facing the final ball, but that being said, the team spirit that all of these teams here at the Kwibuka Women's T20 tournament have shown, they're very united as teams, as nations, and I'm sure they'll be delighted to get over the line as a team.
Totally agree with you. We've seen a lot of great personalities, great teamwork that is going on here. And I think that was intentional, not to take that run. Wilhelmina is on strike. Winning runs.
And there's the winning runs. You'd think they'll come back for 2. A lovely shot down the ground, beats the bowler, beats the fielders. And you hear the applause from the German camp, delighted to get their first win in their last game of this tournament. Very well played from the Germans, very well played from Wilhelmina. No doubt will be celebrating with her teammates that will offer her congratulations for such a heroic innings, taking the German side home without any real trouble, you'd think. They win by 6 wickets here against Botswana. Very well played by the Germans, Mary.
I agree with you there, and you could see from Kohli giving Wilhelmina a big hug as a sign of delightment and appreciation for anchoring the Germans team to their first win of this tournament. This was beautifully played. I wish they were able to do this earlier on through the tournament, but better late than never. They've managed to back their first win, relieved and very happy, you can tell from the camp.
Yeah, Wilhelmina will get a great ovation, lots of hugs and high fives from her teammates, hopefully not for too long, because I'd love to pull her aside and ask her for some tips on how to bat like that. The technique being shown is so nice to watch, the wrist work, the whipping action that brought her some valuable runs. I'm sure everyone watching can agree, whether you're Botswanan, German or anyone in between. It was a lovely innings to watch and a well-deserved victory for Germany, the first in Africa. Very well done to them.
I agree with you, and they managed to secure their 6th place, 7th place, and with Botswana going home at the 8th place after getting their after registering the first win before the Germans. But Germans comes to clean up their last game in style. And in the afternoon here at Gahanga, more cricket will be going on. And for the 5th and 6th place, Brazil will be taking on Nigeria here at Gahanga, trying to secure their 5th place. It is indeed, I would say, a big match to watch out for. It's going to be a very big game, as we've seen the Germans, the Nigerians winning their early games and very fierce there on the field. And also the Brazil coming back later through the tournament have been securing their wins later through the tournament, and with their strong bowling, a game that you cannot afford to miss. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. It will still be me, Mary, and Oli, and Romeo Romaric, and the captain himself, Clinton, in the commentary
महारथी जी, फैंटेसी अखाड़ा में विदेश जाने का भी चांस है। अब सुनो, हम आपको जाने देंगे। इतना सिखा दीजिए कि हम फौरन कैसे जाएंगे।
स्पोर्ट्स का
असली अखाड़ा।
इस गेम में वित्तीय जोखिम के तत्व हैं और इसकी लत लग सकती है। कृपया जिम्मेदारी से और अपने जोखिम पर खेलें।
ये पक्का। अब सीख तो गए, अब तो जाने दो मुझे।
ठहर जाइए, कोई प्रॉब्लम हो गई तो कहाँ ढूंढेंगे आपको।
फैंटेसी अखाड़ा का 24/7 कस्टमर सर्विस है, आपकी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करवा देंगे।
कल जाने देंगे।
फैंटेसी स्पोर्ट्स
का असली अखाड़ा।
इस गेम में वित्तीय जोखिम के तत्व हैं और इसकी लत लग सकती है। कृपया जिम्मेदारी से और अपने जोखिम पर खेलें।
कितने पैसे चाहिए?
पैसा नहीं, इज्जत। मोहल्ले के चिरकुट लौंडे हरा रहे हैं फैंटेसी स्पोर्ट्स में। आप एक्सपर्ट हो, सिखाओ।
सिखाऊंगा तो जाने दोगे?
फैंटेसी स्पोर्ट्स का
असली अखाड़ा।
इस गेम में वित्तीय जोखिम के तत्व हैं और इसकी लत लग सकती है। कृपया जिम्मेदारी से और अपने जोखिम पर खेलें।